for me, the authenticity in an ad comes after volume, because there comes a point where it's just like you start thinking to yourself, how am I going to make like 100 ads in a month? Because you had that as your aim, like, let me make 100 ads in a month.
I don't even know. I would think about that. I would never have conceived like someone could make 100 ads, like,
Yeah, but as soon as you start thinking about it, your mind shifts and you start thinking more creatively. But if you're in like one ad, your creativity is so low. Like you just don't have to pull out creativity from you. And that creativity is not just going to come in like the actual ad itself, but it's going to come in, how can I actually make 100 ads over that period of time? And then in the process of doing it, like, you're going to recognize that it has to be easy, it has to be fun, it has to be flowy, it has to be something of which I enjoy doing. Otherwise, this ain't going to be possible for me to do it. On the opposite side of the spectrum, if it's friction, if it's hard, if it's something that you don't enjoy doing, you don't like, then you can do one ad by doing that, but it'll take you the whole month, which is when you kind of look back and you look at the initial one that you made with AI, like by the end of it, yeah, sure. I mean, you've got something that's better than what my first ad was. I'll be real. But I guarantee you this is that it's going to be probably one of the worst ads that you've ever made. And you look back and think, how could I even have thought to have put that ad out compared to like this that's now coming from my heart and my soul? Because again, it's going back to us saying about the conviction. The AI can never replicate the same conviction that you have in your mission compared to what a person will feel when they're hearing it from you. So what I would say is like, in AI ads and stuff like that, I mean, they can be good to bring people to your Instagram platform, your Instagram or your initial profile. But then on your profile, there has to be just so much like stuff that can actually connect with the audience. And then even then it's like, well, if you've got one thing on the profile and you got another thing on the ad, then you haven't got congruency. So the person that comes through the ad hits the profile and they're like, oh, this isn't actually what I was expecting. I was expecting the other mum in there who
the one was in the ad.
Yeah, but this is not that mum.
But she ain't real. The AI.
But if it likes you at the front, because they see who you are straight away, and you've shown the soul version of who you are, like the closest to authenticity, they're bound to like you at the next steps too. Wasn't working today.
Right.
How's things been with you?
Good. Alhamdulillah. Not too bad. Just deciding whether to go to South Africa or not.
And is that like on a holiday or more like a...
Well, I usually go to see my family because I see them once a year.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason. But yeah, we have a holiday at the same time. Because it's summer there.
Nice. So you could go, like, and I can see the reasons for why you'd want to. What would be the main reasons for why you wouldn't?
I really want to focus on this business, to be honest.
And
I feel whenever I go away, even if it's for a short time, I'm like in this holiday mood for a long, takes me a while to get out of it and then get going again. The momentum just gets lost.
I get that. How long would you go for if you went to South Africa, do you think?
We usually go for at least 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. So that's a long time.
It is. And I get the predicament that you're in, because it doesn't feel, I guess you could say, like totally purposeful when you're just going to see family. But if you didn't see them this time, like when would you next see them?
I don't like going for too long without seeing them either.
Yeah.
So if I don't go like immediately now, maybe in a few months' time, on April, before it starts to get cold there as well, because it gets to winter on May, June. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
finding the right time. Pushing this. I mean, I could do whatever I do here, there as well. Just that there's a lot like more distractions there.
I get that. I do. And you want to maintain momentum. So like what I've personally found is that when I'm sort of traveling, I don't really get momentum until maybe about 2 weeks of settling at the place. And then if I come back to, like, let's say from a different country to the UK, I kind of like ride that momentum for a week or two, but then it really drops off and I have to get acclimatized to the new environment that I'm in, new habit, new. So the change isn't always a great thing. And what I tend to find mostly, like in terms of what's affected when I'm looking at my internal state, is that when I travel, I have more uncertainty because it's going into the unknown. It's like not in my familiar home, and I feel good because sometimes you can actually have the opposite, which is too much certainty, too much of the same thing.
Yeah, monotony. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But you don't want to be on either extreme. You don't want it to be that like you're constantly traveling in the uncertainty to the point where you've lost your certainty now because you don't have that stable foundation or just even the momentum to build something up. So what I found was like one of the best things for myself was when I'd have extended time lengths in a different country. So I think I was in Malaysia for about 3 months, 90 days, and that was some of the most productive that I've ever been. I think another season of my life where I was really productive was when we were in Montenegro. I think that was again for 90 days. But if I'm ever doing like these 1 week, 2 week, 4 week trips, that's where it becomes a thing where it's like, no, this ain't gonna work. So for yourself, like, have you ever considered doing like a longer stay in South Africa, or is that out of the cards because of the kids?
I mean, my kids are homeschooled, so I could stay longer. We could do the 3-month thing, but I think they wouldn't maybe want to come back this. I wouldn't want to come back.
So I guess this is the final question. Like, what's keeping you in the UK?
My husband would ask me the same question. I don't really know what the answer to that is, to be honest. I guess I always see South Africa as the end home where we'd end up. But I don't want to end up there right now. There's still a lot more I want to do on this side of the hemisphere, this hemisphere. Because traveling when you're in South Africa, to travel is difficult because you're like, at the bottom of Africa, literally. And Africa is a very big continent. So to travel, it's like long hours, it's not easy. There's still a lot more I want to see on this side of the world before I go back home. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I kind of get what you're saying. You feel like you're still in your exploration phase of your life almost.
Yeah.
And you still want to be able to go and see your family from time to time. So I think the biggest thing is it's looking at your relationship with sacrifice, because at the level that you're at right now, and like at the level that I can't speak for people who are like above where I'm at, but from what I've heard is that there's just always sacrifices that have to be made. It's just that they kind of level up and change over time. So initially you're having to make financial sacrifices, but then when you think about a person that has an abundance of money, they don't have to make financial sacrifices because they already have like so much money that it doesn't feel like a sacrifice. It's more, the biggest sacrifice to them at that point would then be to do with like time or energy. So this is the thing, is that I think with where you're at right now, if you look at like your overall journey, what do you feel like has been the biggest sacrifice that you've made so far?
To be honest, I don't think I've made much of a sacrifice, and that scares me a little bit. You know what I mean? I haven't. I'm still living, relatively comfortable. Like, nothing's changed, except I have a little bit more debt now, which I never had before. But I don't see it as a bad debt in a way, because it's not like just a liability I'm paying for. It's different. So other than that, I've not really made any sacrifices. I've still seen my family quite regularly. We've still been traveling quite regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the two most important things, really. For us, like, traveling is like important.
Yeah.
Just to get away from the monotony for a while and then come back. So we need that break every now and again. But other than that, financially, this is the thing. Like, I need to start putting in more of a financial sacrifice, as in, putting the ads out and stuff like that, investing in that sort of thing. And I know that's my next step. But for some reason, I don't know what's holding me back. The uncertainty, maybe.
Tell me, like, what do you feel like is the biggest thing holding you back from?
I think, like, I've been following a lot of the other Enagic people in other teams and stuff. And I know what you were saying in the last time about, like, when you were in your team initially, and all you had to do is like sort of get people in, but you didn't even get any of that initial money that you'd get for bringing people into the system. Whether they bought into Enagic or not was like, once off maybe, or it's not going to happen like daily or even monthly perhaps. But they have some sort of system that's in place, so they can sort of have a jump start and get into it quicker.
So
I feel like I'm not.
So I think what
clear on what my system is. Should I have my own system, or should I be using your system? Or that's where I think I'm not certain about my own system, basically.
I get that.
Mm.
And so here's what will actually help you the most is before I answer this, what I want to actually ask you is, let's say you had a new member that didn't exactly know everything about your business opportunity. Mm-hmm. And they said that, you know what, I don't know what's holding me back. It's as if I can see how this is working for you guys. I can see how like you're getting all the results, but I just don't really feel as though I can see that for myself. And I just kind of feel as though, like, if I knew more about how it all worked, I don't feel like I know enough right now. Like, if I knew more about how it all worked, then I'd be able to like make the investment. Then I'd be able to take the next step. What would you say in response to that? to that person? How would you best help them at that point?
I'd say that clarity is very important. They would need to know their next step. I can only tell them what my next steps were when I was in that position.
Okay.
But it may be right for them, or it may not be right for them. I'm hoping that by the time I get to that point, my system, let's just say in inverted commas, my system is duplicatable because the people that will be following me have are similar to me.
I get that. I get that. What I'm actually saying is that, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you've got the system, you've got the business, you've got everything. So it's all there. You know it's all there, but the person who hasn't got started yet, they don't even know if the water works. They don't even know if like the business is legit, like Enagic is really going to pay them. They don't know any of this stuff. And so they're concerned about is like, whilst I'm here in this position that I'm in, and I got to like take this leap of faith almost. How like I just feel uncertain right now. I'm this close. Like I've seen everything, and you've answered all my questions. So I'm like about probably like, I mean, if you describe your level of certainty right now in terms of on a scale of 1 to 10, where you're at currently with
Enagic.
No, with Enagic, just like with your system and taking the next step with advertisements, etc. Like actually starting to run your business a bit more. Where would you say you are on a scale of 1 to 10 with that uncertainty?
I'd say like maybe a 6.
Okay, great. So let's say, for example, I was a 6. And I was looking to invest into your opportunity. I knew nothing about the ads. I knew nothing about the system sales processes. And when I say I knew nothing, it's more like you've told me, but I just don't feel certain about it the same way. Like I've got the information and you told me about Enagic. I can see how it all works good, but I just don't feel certain. What would you say to that person at that point? I feel like I'm a 6.
I'd say you won't know until you try. Yeah, you won't know how deep the swimming pool is until you jump in.
Yeah.
And if you can swim or not.
Yeah.
Funny enough, that's how I learned to swim, by the way. My dad just literally threw me in the deep end and said, okay, kick your legs down or you're going to drown.
Yeah.
He did catch me up.
So this is the thing. It's like what it's showing is that it's probably not necessarily like a information problem or an intellectual problem.
It's a doing problem.
No, it's an emotional thing because you've got so much clarity. Like
I'm super clear on like Enagic. I know all of that stuff, right? This is what I'm saying. I don't know what it is that's holding me back. By now, I should be at least speaking to people, isn't it? Is that maybe that's where my hurdle is, like speaking to people? I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So the thing is like, here's what I would say. When you're bringing someone new on board, like the main conversation that you're going to have with this person, let's say they've invested in Enagic, they're on your team now. The main conversation that you're going to have with them at this point is going to be, how can I take you from where you are right now, which is you're dependent on me, right? How can I take you to the place of becoming independent where you never need to have a conversation with me ever again, and you're going to be making me loads of sales and you're going to generate sales for you too? How can we take you
I'm in that position with you at this moment.
This is it. But the thing is
I don't think I'm ready to let go of the, I'm not ready to like fly the coop yet.
which is fine. But what we want to look at is how you've progressed in terms of gaining the independence. So when you look at how you started off with your dependence, you were maybe, you were fully dependent, let's be real.
Yeah, completely.
I made a system. That's my fault. I made a system that made you fully system dependent. So if you look at what it was that you were truly dependent on for me, do you know what I was doing for you? Like, so that you were
all the hard work in it, like, basically is,
Well, what is hard work? Because when you get more specific about that, then you become clear. So what do you think I'm doing for you?
So the ads, the sales calls.
So you just named one thing. So let's go specific into each thing.
Okay.
So with ads, what do you think I did for you there?
Well, you've been through the whole trial and error of your ads, and then obviously narrowed it down to the ones that actually work and bring in the best kind of leads.
Okay, so I tested ads.
Yep.
And then what did I do for you?
And then the sales calls.
Even in the ads, did I do anything else with ads, or just test ads?
And then run the ads that were working.
Then I ran the ads, and so aside from running the ads, was there anything else I did?
But you sort of qualified the leads based on the ads, didn't you? Or is that after that? That comes after.
So that's actually like funnel stuff is what I would say. But just in the ads and ads in itself, like testing and running, is there anything else?
Not sure. I think so.
So yeah, another thing with ads, so just to simplify for you, so there's testing the ads, running the ads, but even before testing the ads, there's creating the ads.
Oh yes, right, of course,
Yeah, and I think this is the step that like most people don't realize, like how much work goes into with the creating, because you got to come up with an idea, and I think you have got a tiny glimpse as to how much work goes into it, because
the one that I did create took me like a while. There you go. But I was so proud of it. Like now I feel like if I put it out there and it doesn't work, it's like all that work went to like nothing. Maybe that's what's holding back as well.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that too is because for yourself right now, like you are very attached to the outcome rather than the process.
Yeah.
So if you're more so concerned about the process of let me just make ads, like my mentor, when I was first getting started off with ads, he was basically saying to me that in his first year, he literally just made an ad every day. So back when he was making ads, it was more so like written copy of ads. He would write a new ad every day. When I was looking at, there's a video that you can watch in the Ripple Effect Vault, which is in the school too. So you go into the school, you go into the vault, you just see like all the best calls, like literally the one they had in the weekend. That was epic. It was probably the best call that they've ever had. So I'd recommend going in there and like watching some of the replays, because they break down ads. And to be honest, like that one specifically, if you just got started off with that's going to make you some really good ads too. But what I'm saying is that, so he was doing the ads like every single day, making his written ads. And what was I just talking about with the ripple effect calls? Why did I bring that up?
We're talking about ads this last course.
Yeah, they were talking about ads on the recent ripple effect call, but I think it was a different one where they so it was Nate. So just before this call, Nate Wells, who's just hit -5, like the record time, he was saying that in the beginning of his journey, he was working like 17 hours a day, living in his truck, didn't have a house, a truck.
Yeah, I remember that speech from the Tenerife.
Yeah. So he was living in a truck, and he was saying that on a weekend he would put out 90 ads every weekend.
Wow.
90 new ads that would test. Now, of course, like those type of ads that he's testing is probably not going to necessarily be all video ads, highly creative, but it's just showing you like the volume that he was willing to do and the sacrifices that he was willing to make, because he had a kid back then as well. So he had a 17-hour job, he had a kid, but he was just willing to put in work that nobody else was willing to do, put in the effort and the sacrifice. So, like that was the main thing that they were saying. So the creation of the ads, out of everything, I would say is like the biggest thing that I've done for you is making a good ad. If you knew how long it took me to get it to the point of having that one ad that was working, like it would blow your mind. And that's what takes people the most amount of time, is just to find the winning ad. Because I definitely didn't get my winning ad from my first ad. In fact, I remember the first ad that I actually put out that I was happy with, because to make that first ad that I was happy with, it took me like so many iterations, getting feedback. And then I was like, okay, let me just put this one out there. It was quite authentic, to be fair, in comparison to all the other ones that I put out. And I got a low lead cost, but I turned it off because I was like, I want to get better. It was a bad mistake because there's now bad management. So sometimes the ad could be good, but you could have bad management. And then it didn't like work later on. So it then took me years of testing to find an ad that would work well. And so what actually happened was I put up an ad for such a long time, and I was getting leads from it. But because I wasn't getting clients, I didn't know if it was truly a good ad, like it was a good winning ad, because I didn't know what would happen if I got a customer from that ad. And I ended up getting 2 customers from this ad, but I probably spent about 10K on it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I generated a lot of leads. Every single month I was consistent with putting in my money, £600, £600, £600. I'm getting leads. Nothing on the front end. And then on the back end.
That's the thing also, isn't it? I think maybe that's also something that's on my mind, is like having that front end offer. So you're not just, spending, because I don't want to lose that motivation either.
Yeah. That will kill you.
Yeah. I mean, like, I might not be as steadfast as you were to like hold on for that long. So
that'll kill you. But here's the good news. Here's the good news is that when I realized that like this just wasn't sustainable for me, and I switched up my ad, because the thing is that as much as the ad was generating me leads, what I didn't realize was that the people coming through, the targeting was just so off, because I wasn't authentic in the ad. My ad, you know what it was? It was a picture of Dubai, and it just said "work with us" online, something like that. So I'd get people come through.
Very broad, yeah.
Very broad. People would fill it out. There'd be people that they like travel, but I didn't really connect with those people on a soul level. And if I did, then it was lucky. Whereas if I knew like who might be my soul in my soul tribe, the way that I know like right now, like if I was the power, I'd fully know who's in my soul tribe because I've experienced my ego tribe. Then every other person would be like target avatar, target audience. So I think for yourself, like one of the good things that you've been able to go through, which I didn't, because basically what happened was I affiliated, and on the first day it's like, okay, go ahead, write an ad and let's get it on social media ads manager, and let's just like utilize your money so that we can leverage your money. And it was like, let's just fail over and over and over again. But they didn't do the soul work necessary in order to know more about like your authenticity and like putting out the brand, etc. So like having a solid foundation. So that was like for me, like put 10K in ads, got like one regular KE. And when that sale came through, I tell you, I felt on top of the world. I was like, damn, I just
forgot about all that money spent.
I couldn't give a shit about the money. This is possible. Like I actually just made
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you need that one sort of person, and then you're like, wow, I actually did this. It's worth, that's motivation to keep going.
Yeah. And I remember like my uplines were like, oh my God, he did it. Because there were so many people who were getting sales before me because they were probably more in alignment with
whoever they were targeting. Yeah.
Yeah, it was easy because everyone was just copying the ads. So like it was a travel thing. So my mentors were bringing through travel people, but I didn't come to the ad. So because I didn't come to the ad, then I was just like a unique person in the mix who
stuck in this travel.
Yeah, I was just standing like a solo crowd. So whenever you look at like my Instagram and you see the people who are in the group photos, it's like everyone looks the same apart from me. I just stand out. Like, so they all live their travel. I was trying to like fit in with them rather than be myself. And so when I got that first sale, they were like, yo, he did it, celebrated. Now you can go all the way to the moon. But to get the second, that again felt like luck. Didn't actually feel like it was planned. Came through the same ad. But eventually I just had to stop that ad because I was like, I'm burning through money. This is unsustainable. And I don't know how long I can do this for. Like I just genuinely said that to my mentor. And then he was like, well, you know what? If you just look at the ads manager account and you see that there's like 20, 30K that's gone in there and there's nothing that's come back out, that's going to be haunting to you if you have that perception, that mindset. But if you look into the account and you're like, all that money that's been invested, it's all going to come back to you because the pain that you endured and the lessons that you learned, that's the mindset shift that you've got to have. I was like, perfect. And it got me going again. Like it got me inspired. So knowing that got me just like thinking, okay, I put in like 20, 30K. So you're telling me like 100, 200K is going to come back? Let me just have that faith. And after that, like that's when I started to get some momentum because I was like, okay, I'm not just going to lean on this one ad, which is this picture of Dubai that I just didn't put any effort into. Let me put it that way. There's no real effort that went into it apart from copying somebody else's. But let me just every single day make an ad. And I did that for about 30 days. So for 30 days, I went on TikTok and I was putting my ads out to the social media platform, as well as putting out some content here and there. But every day, like every other day, there was an ad that was going out, just testing a new ad. And this got me better at making my ads, my content. I genuinely started to become more confident in terms of how I wanted to put something out. And what I felt like worked best for me organically was ads where I wasn't even speaking in it. It was just literally like words that had something over like a reel. Now, the thing with those is that as much as they're going to work better than pictures, they're not going to work better than speaking ads. Because when you're speaking to your audience, they can feel the resonance. And that's how you'll start attracting that soul tribe compared to the ones who are more like the ego tribe or just forget even who you are, you know? So you might end up, and this is what the guy was saying at the weekend, this guy's like spent millions in ads, like 30 million in ads, right? That's how much he's putting, he says. So, you know, and the crazy thing about it too is like when he worked out the return on investment, he was like from about 20K investment that he initially started off with, over the years that he's been in the game, there's been 1,000,000% return. No crypto, no stock, no company can actually give you that type of return, right? Yeah. So the thing is that with the ads, in terms of like what works best from what he was saying is when you're actually saying something to your audience, speaking to your audience. And I've seen it even proven, because in Australia, they have a couple of guys who like 18, 19 years old, these kids that have hit 6A2 in a year at 18.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a good video that you can watch as to how they're doing it. One of the things that feels a bit unfair, and I'd potentially consider this if I was yourself, it's a bit of a risk. I have taken the risk sometimes, which is rather than just targeting the UK, you can actually try targeting other countries where the finance is a little bit tighter. Because the thing is, in like Australia, practically anyone can get started, and the big reason why is because they've got more options with literally financial partners that are working directly with an AGIC, and like literally it's just a thing of, as long as they got a job for like 2 months, they get financing every single time, and it could be for a trifecta, it could be for a quad. So the only problem with going down that route is that like you will have probably more a little bit of a disconnect, but and also like the logistics in terms of how you work, because at the end of the day, those guys are going to be on a different
as well, yeah.
Which I don't know, might be a reason to go to South Africa, but
well, there's still the time difference there with Australia.
Fair enough. So, that's like one other thing, but even if those guys out there had the same metrics that we have in the UK, like they'd probably still be getting decent results. Maybe they wouldn't be started because they were 18, 19. But if they were, like some of the younger guys, and they were running the system the way that they were, they'd be getting good results. And when I heard like what they were doing, I was like, that's not too dissimilar to what we were doing, which is basically they run an ad, which is like a very simple 10, 15-second ad. And then after that ad, they have a form of which people fill out, and it's like really basic, just gets the initial details so that they have all the flow. So just ask like a couple of quick questions. And then after that, once they've come through, they would give them a call. And I'm like, that's exactly what we were doing. So they've been giving people calls and having like a 5-minute conversation with them, quick connection, and then send some information, which the information then would sell them the front end offer, and they'd be getting started off like by the end of the day from the front end offer. Now, after the front end offer, they could also get to know a little bit more about like Enagic and stuff like that, because it wasn't exactly hidden. And sometimes it would even be that like people would quickly that same day get started off with Enagic by just like going through the financing and everything like that. So it can happen quickly. There can be speed to it depending on who is going to be coming through. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, everyone's going to come at their own pace, and you probably won't be able, like what I wouldn't recommend is like basing your budget on whether or not you're going to get returns. You want to base the budget more on, this is just what I would put in if I wasn't even getting any returns, which was my mindset in terms of investing for quite a long time. My mindset was just, even if...
Hello?
Hey, Ta, how we doing, man?
How's everyone doing?
Hey, Ta.
We're good.
I'm just driving back home from work, so I'll try and talk. Could I use the maps while I'm still talking to you guys, or is it?
I have no idea. I've never tried.
Let me try and go on maps and see if I'm muted.
Cool. You did just mute, by the way.
Sorry, guys. I'll come back. I'll come back on once I get home.
That's fine.
Alright, see you guys later.
Peace. So yeah, I was basically saying that like my mindset for the longest time was I genuinely expected that I wasn't going to make money, so I'd always have money for the next month.
Right.
So you want to have like a budget where it's kind of like that, where it's like, even if I'm not going to make money, I'm
comfortable
still
with spending that much. Yeah.
I'm committed to putting in this amount every single month. But what I would say not to do is don't expect to not make money. Just have that as the commitment as to how you decide what you're going to put in.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's the main thing that they're doing is like a very similar thing to what we are. So going back to like my journey with the ads, I got good by doing daily ads and actually like just throwing as many out there as I possibly could, rather than trying to make the one perfect ad and then putting all my hopes onto it. And it comes from like again,
that's kind of what I did.
Yeah, it's uncertainty. It's like, and it's also, when you think about it, on the performance to authenticity scale, like which one do you feel like it's at there as well? Like, do you feel like it was the most authentic thing that you ever put out?
No.
Yeah. So
I mean, it looks nice, and I appreciate my work that went into it and your help that went into it, but it's definitely not like the authentic, like you say. It's just like it's an ad that was produced.
yeah, yeah,
production.
yeah. And I like if I give you a relatable version of like how I've done something similar is I think when I think about like where I spent, so back when we were in like Montenegro, I think this is where my ads were just not doing the best, but we put in so much effort into them. Like we would literally try to replicate viral videos by having a script and what to say and everything like that, and there was just not much authenticity whatsoever. It was like a whole performance, and I can't remember like many people that came through that were good from that. The best one that came through was when we had our ad that was like the digital real estate, and I'm talking on the mountain. Even though the first bit was a little bit of performance, the rest of it was more authentic. So yeah, this is what I feel like is the inner knowing that you might have right now, which is like, I feel like I'm bullshitting myself right now. I think this is how you feel. I think you feel like, I know that if I put out that ad, like I'm probably not going to get even if it does get cheap leads, like they're not going to be like really my soul tribe, my people. And that's what there might be a little bit of resistance there, because it doesn't really feel as if it lights you up. And if it wouldn't attract you in right now as to who you are, then how could it attract people like you or better? And that's what you want to be aiming for. Mm-hmm. So I think the thing also is that this is what I would experience too sometimes, is if I made an ad like 2 months ago, because of how much I was growing, I would like after 2 months feel like I can make something better than that now. So if I would have delayed putting it out, then I just had to make a new ad. I was like, it's not the best thing. And this is what started to happen for me with making my web classes, making my webinars. The amount of them that I've made compared to ads, I mean, that's been, wait till you start making them.
That's going to be my next question, is like, would I need to do that like straight away, or for now it's just like stick to like what we talked about getting people into the community, and then
exactly yeah. The way that you'll get your people coming in and like actually feeling like, whoa, what is this? I would love to be a part of it. It's so easy for you. I wish I had someone like me that was willing to do what I'm willing to do for you. Okay. Mm-hmm. I wish I had someone who was like literally available every single night, that was just going to blow people's minds and give them value for free. And then I'd be able to leverage that. And then afterwards, like say, hey, would you like him to be your mentor? Like,
yeah, that's basically what it's just, and I'm so grateful for that, to be honest. Don't get me wrong. I'm really grateful that because I'm someone that needs that sort of hand holding, spoon feeding, or I would not be able to keep up. I'd just give up, which I've done for like years and years now, trying different things. Whenever I didn't get that, hand hold and say, okay, this is the next step, then I just, okay, whatever, let's go find the next thing.
Yeah.
So if I was left on my own, like you say you were, I would have left this by now a long time ago.
This is it. So it's the most valuable thing that you can lean on. Like when you're thinking, and this is what was going through with Taha the other day, which I think is going to be powerful for yourself too. And again, it goes back to what that the guy who came on the Ripple Effect call was talking about, that I think you should definitely watch. And like he was talking about how we have this misalignment that causes us to operate inauthentically in the area that we want to get results in. And if you're operating in authentic area that you want to get results in, everything's going to feel upstream. But you come more into alignment, then it can feel more downstream. So when you look at like your core values right now, what would you describe them as being?
Faith, first of all.
I can see that.
Family.
I can see that.
I'd have to say, like, I want to say freedom, but it's more like
personal.
Because freedom is so broad, isn't it? Can mean lots of things to lots of people. But to me, freedom means being able to travel whenever I want or do whatever I want whenever I want.
I think it's a big value for you. I think freedom is pretty big, and I like how they're all F's. So you got the faith, you got the family, you got the freedom, and the thing is that this is everything that you want to have. This is everything that like you're working towards, having more of a connection with God, like having a better lifestyle in terms of your faith, having more freedom, being able to travel more. But what you're living right now is just glimpses of the ideal lifestyle, right? So the thing is that these are your conscious goals, but then there's your meta values, which are your unconscious, it's your unconscious soul, like it's your essence. So the next question is, if somebody was to describe you as to who you have been, like across the board in terms of your life, how would they describe your essence as to who you are?
Stubborn.
Yeah,
like sort of headstrong. I do what I want to do, basically. I've always done what I wanted to do. Even if I fall on my face, it's still my mistake. So
I'd say your intelligence takes you far. You're intelligent.
Yeah. I think it would depend who you asked.
Ask me.
Yeah, you'd have all good things to say.
No, so here's the thing. In terms of who's the best person to answer this question, it's two people for me personally. Like, I think the closest people around you, like your ones that just see every part of who you are, those are good people because they'll say things that like I don't necessarily see, or they'll say things that your social media platform, like they don't necessarily see. So those are good people in that sense because they just see those parts of you. But I'd say some of the best people are actually people who don't know anything about you at all. And they're just getting like this first impression that's an intuitive bit of feedback that they're giving you as to what your personality is like. So I actually remember when someone described me, it was Ryan, that I went to an event in Portugal and never met him before. I literally just said like one sentence, but he sensed the energy and he said straight away, he was like, you know what, you're like super connected to your inner wisdom. I can see it. And I was like, those are an interesting choice of words. That's what I was thinking. But so many times I've had that experience where I've not necessarily gone into a deep conversation with somebody to reveal everything about who I am, but my energy has...
yes, I see what you're saying.
It's like people who read my soul.
For itself, like, you don't have to like...
Yeah.
Put it out on display. It's just there in the room.
People, it's when people have really seen me, right? And the thing is, sometimes the people closest to us or the people who are friends and family, they don't really see us. They see who they want to see based off of the past experiences that they've had around us and the attachments that they have towards us. So if you was to look back and think, not just based off of what you see yourself as, but like maybe even what some other people have given you as feedback as to like who you are in their eyes, just to summarize who you are.
Reserved, like quiet.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd say people would. I would hope to think people would say I'm kind, helpful. I'd help like anyone who was in need.
Yeah.
Didn't really. Yeah. That's not quality or value, isn't it?
It's an impression.
Yeah, of your personality. Protective?
Why do you say protective?
Like I'm super protective of the people in my life. My children especially.
Okay.
But that just maybe this motherly.
Yeah, so that's another big thing is it's like, who are you when you're not a mother?
Yeah. I was actually gonna do a video about that, like who are you? Based on like what one of James's
I think you're funny.
lessons.
I think you're very funny.
I'm funny. I like to laugh.
Funny and entertainable.
Funny and what's that say?
There's being funny, but then there's also being entertainable. So I feel like I'm very funny, apparently, but also I believe, but I'm not very entertainable. Like you have to be good to
entertain you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like I'm the same, like similar. I won't just laugh for anything. It has to be something that gets my mind going. I don't like toilet humor.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. I like witty humor.
Sure. So maybe
you've got to work to make you laugh.
Yeah. It's a challenge.
Challenge. It's I love it.
He's learning.
That's great.
When she laughs, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it's like a game. And my cousin is just like that because he's the one that I challenge. So if he gets me to laugh, he knows he's doing well, and it's made him.
Mariam's the same. I can't make her laugh.
Yeah. You have to work for it. Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. I think I'd have to ask people. I've never asked anyone that question. Like, what my first impression? What is their first impression of me? Or never had someone come up to me and say this about you. Like what you said. You had that. Ryan said that, but I don't remember ever having someone say, like, just come up to me and say you're this or that. Or
yeah, I think it started to happen a lot more for me when I started to do sales, because I went from speaking to no one every day.
Yeah, this is the thing. I don't really speak to anyone except my,
Exactly. So that's why I love sales, because it's like it literally helps you become self-aware, and you get to know who you are rather than this bubble as to who you think you are, because the level of who you are, there's actually, I'll pull this thing up for you now. This is pretty cool, but the Japanese have this thing where they believe that we have 3 faces, but it's actually based off of neuroscience. So if I share my screen, you see?
Yep.
Yeah. So the Japanese believe we have 3 faces. The first is the face you show to the world, and it's the one that you kind of think that you are. And if you don't necessarily speak to other people in a day, you might think this is who you are, but this isn't who you are. This is just what you think. The second face is the face that you show to your close friends and your family. So this is closer to who you really are, because it's going a level deeper now. So that's why when you get feedback from your friends and family as to who they say you are, you're actually getting closer to the truth. But it's not the truth. It's just a closer reflection. The truth is when it's at the core of your being. So when you've essentially gone through the 3 layers, so we call it the triune brain theory, and that the brain is split up into 3 parts. So we have the the neocortex. It's like the surface level part of the brain, where it's for language, abstract thought, imagination, consciousness, reasoning, rationalizing. But then once you go beyond the surface and you go outside of the logical, now you start going into more of the emotional. So this is like another way people say it is that you got left brain, right brain.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got the emotional side now, and this is where you actually have more of that closeness to who you are. But then finally, once you've been able to achieve, because to go through the different brains, it requires safety. So when you feel safe enough to come out of this brain and go into this brain, and then finally in this brain, then it can actually help you to get closer to who you are. So there's actually a really cool exercise that I did for Luke, Anthony. I do it for like so many people, and it can actually really help you to become more self-aware. So I'll do it right now with yourself as well too, and then at the end tell you what I'm doing. So if I was to ask you a question of what is your favorite animal? What's your favorite animal?
Elephant.
Okay, why?
I don't know, I've always loved the elephants because they're like gentle giants. Well, they're not gentle, but they don't like. I don't know. It's just they protective. There's a matriarch, maybe that's why, as well. Yeah,
What do you mean by that?
the mother's in charge.
Mm.
Well, like in a herd, the female is in charge. The older males get sent off, to find their own herd.
So they're like in charge of the like
Yeah, they like the protectors of the herd.
the herd. They're in charge of the herd. I get it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you like about elephants other than the protective gentleness and
But strong.
They're strong?
Yeah.
Anything else?
They're sensitive. Probably one of the more sensitive animals. Like they actually mourn their dead, which is rare in the animal
Wow.
kingdom. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yep. They have like a whole ceremony and things. It's amazing. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. Is there anything else that you like about elephants or?
It's one of those animals like, people love to see, but from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just something about them. Like I love elephants, but I wouldn't just go and stand in front of one, basically. Yeah, they're that protective over their babies and the younger one. They're very protective.
So why would people love to see them, and why would they not want to
Because
leave?
they're so majestic and they're huge. They're so strong. I mean, they could just turn over a car like effortlessly.
Yeah. And why? So that's why people would not want to get close to them, or why people would love to see them from a distance?
Yeah, I think out of fear, they wouldn't want to go too close, but
Got
they're
you.
majestic also, isn't it? With the trunks and the tusks.
So they're a little bit intimidating, is what you could say.
Yeah.
Got you. Awesome. So if you was an elephant, how would you feel?
Big and strong. Scary. No, not scary, but like, see me, look at me from a distance. So don't come close to my children.
So
I'll
like
hurt you.
you'd be strong and how would you describe that in one word?
Powerful?
Strong and powerful. Okay, interesting. What's your second favorite animal?
Tiger.
Tiger. Why tiger?
It's beautiful.
They're what?
They're beautiful.
Beautiful. What's beautiful about them?
Also like majestic, isn't it? They're like the loners again. They're not always in a family or in a pride like lions are. They're on their own.
Independent.
Independent.
Yeah. Anything else?
Strong again.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like the look of them.
How do they look to you? Would you say, like you said, beautiful? Anything else?
They're unique. Stick out. Like, I mean, the tiger's coming at you. What else? How they look?
Yeah. So if you was a tiger, how would you feel?
Don't know. I'd feel a bit lonely, to be honest, because I'd have no like family or anything around me. I'd still be safe or able to protect myself, I guess. Like no one's gonna mess with me.
Like unfuckwithable is the best way.
Yeah, that's the word.
Okay. What about your third favorite animal?
Has to be like a bird or something. I like birds.
What's your favorite bird?
Eagle?
I knew it.
Why?
I'll
I
tell
don't
you.
know, because they can fly, and just like being able to just fly off wherever you want. That's like the ultimate freedom.
Yeah.
But they're not weak either.
So
Like there's loads of birds that are, like a pigeon, for example, can fly, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah. Anything else that you like about eagles?
They're strong again.
Yeah.
Clever. Very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they got this like precision eyesight, which I don't have. Probably I envy them.
Precision eyesight. Yeah.
Yeah, like once they lock into their prey, they're getting it, even from a distance, like from a height that's way above whatever they're trying to catch.
Once they lock in, they are clinical almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like what you said. There's what you said, like, even when the target is far, because some animals, they pounce at their prey from proximity because it's like a
Yes.
short goal. But like,
More certain then. Yeah, but these are like
Hi guys.
master hunters.
hey man, how we doing?
Doing very well, thank you, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, we're good, man. We're just doing a bit of an exercise, a bit like what I was doing for you the other day, but in a different way. So you can observe and have your mind blown whilst I'm doing this for Yasmin too. So
Yeah, that's no problem. I can listen to you guys.
great. So you said you like that they prey from a distance.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you love about eagles?
I like the way they fly because it's different. I don't know if there's any other birds that are similar. Maybe other birds
How
of prey. Do they fly the same way? They
How
sort of
does-
glide. They like gliding. They're graceful. You know? Even with their size, because they're quite big, isn't it? But they're still so graceful. Like
Yeah.
A beautiful bird.
Anything else?
what else? I don't know, something- claws.
What was that? Swords?
Talons. They're not even claws. They're talons, isn't it? They're talons.
Yeah. Do you like the claws?
Yeah.
What do you like about them?
It's like a don't mess with me thing again.
Unforgettable-ness again.
Yeah.
Or the intimidating a little bit.
Yeah. But they're
Okay.
graceful to again, something that you can admire from a distance, but you wouldn't necessarily bring it up close to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you was to like, if you was an eagle, how would it make you feel?
Wow. I would feel like amazing. Just be able to fly wherever I want. That would be like the ultimate thing.
I guess being able to
The
fly,
freedom that
outside.
they have. Yeah.
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 Anything else that you feel?
Powerful again.
Yeah.
I want to say wise, but I don't know if it's wisdom, but what would you call their precision that they use in their hunting? Like they're one of those animals that don't necessarily go for the weak one. You know? They don't really go for the weak prey. If it's something that they can see, they're gonna give it a try and get it. Not necessarily waiting for the weaker prey.
Yeah, a bit like we call it like an apex predator.
Yeah. That's exactly it, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to try something I've not done before. So I'm going to ask you now, like, out of these animals that you've chosen that are your favorite animals, like, is there anything that you dislike about these animals? So, like, start with an elephant. Anything you dislike about an elephant?
They're unpredictable.
Okay.
Elephants, yeah. Because they have weak eyesight. They're very unpredictable. I guess the thing I don't like about tigers is that they are alone all the time.
Yeah.
And the eagle, I don't think there's anything I dislike about an eagle. To be honest, yeah.
Eagle is just the perfect creature.
Yeah, it's just, there's nothing I dislike. I can't think of anything.
Wow, that's really interesting. So, do you want me to reveal why I was
Yes, please.
asking?
Yeah.
It's gonna make sense because I've
Okay.
kind of told you, but not as clearly as I'm gonna put it together now. But you're gonna know that what I'm saying here is truth. You're gonna feel it as truth as well. So here's the thing. Let me share my screen because I got all the notes as to what you've actually shared. And the first thing you mentioned is that your favorite animal was the elephant. Okay, so if I go back to the images that I was showing you before, where we were looking at the brain and also what the Japanese say. So what this exercise does is it shows you the faces.
I see what you're doing now.
So the funny thing that happens is it's like you're there describing these animals that you think you like or that you believe you like, but what you're actually doing is you're just describing you.
Wow.
So
I'm an elephant. I show everyone that I think I'm an elephant.
Yeah. So this is who you think you are, right? You think you're an elephant. You think you're a gentle giant, protective, mother in charge, strong, sensitive, people love to see from a distance, majestic, huge, intimidating. This is how you see yourself. Strong, powerful, but it's parts of yourself that you don't like about yourself, which is the unpredictable aspect, weak eyesight.
Oh, yeah, I don't know that.
And then there's the tiger. So this is who you are in the eyes of others. And to be honest, like I'm not surprised by this. I think you do come across like this person who is like a tigress, like the beautiful, majestic, bit of the loner, like you were saying, not independent, strong, unique. How it would feel, you'd feel lonely but safe.
Yeah.
So that's how people might perceive you as well. It seems like she feels safe.
The camera turned off. I don't think he knows that.
I'm still talking. The elephant is get closer. And then you have this like standoff image when
Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh man, this whole time you guys haven't been able to hear me?
What's going on with my thing today? I can't hear.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes. There you go.
It's just because my camera went off and died, so I had to change the microphones. But I don't know how much you guys didn't hear, because did you hear me break down the elephant part?
I just heard the elephant part, and then you went on to the tiger, but I didn't hear much after that.
Okay, so I was just saying with the tiger is who you are in the eyes of others,
Right.
and it's the I can see this like as an other, like there's the beauty, the majesty, like being that bit of a loner, not in a pride, independent, strong, unique, feel lonely but safe, unfuckwithable. That's how you'd feel. But the part that you don't like about yourself from the eyes of others is like the over independence, being alone all the time.
Yeah.
You'd rather have people with you. And then the ego. The ego is, I should say, who you really are. Who you really are is someone who you actually can fly. You are strong, you're clever, intelligent, you're fast, you have precision eyesight. Now, the thing with an eagle is like eagle vision is not the same as like human vision. If you have eagle vision, it's literally the best type of vision that you can have as a leader, because you can see everything that
You want
is in the clouds, from the clouds, that can protect all of the people who are just on the ground and the animals on the ground. So eagle
Right.
vision is the best type of vision. Once they lock in, they are clinical, as in it might take them a little bit of time to lock into their target because they're catching their prey from a distance. But once they've got it, like it almost looks like, how did that happen? It just happens overnight.
So fast, yeah. Wow.
They glide instead of, it's like in a smooth way that they fly. They're graceful. Another way that you can look at being graceful is being godlike, divine. So they have that divinity. And in fact, the only two animals are the two animals that are mentioned as being in, I believe it's the Bible, as animals that represent God. One of them is the eagle.
Wow. I did not know
Yeah. They're big, beautiful, again, unfuckwithable, intimidating, admirable, wise, and they're an apex predator, meaning that they're at the top of the food chain. Like,
yeah.
the animal kingdom respects them as an apex predator. So if you were that person, you'd feel amazing, you'd feel free, and you'd feel powerful. And the unique thing about this one is that you couldn't give a single thing that you didn't like or that you didn't love.
Yeah,
You fully,
I don't think I can say one thing I don't like about an eagle.
yeah, which is basically you saying there's not a single thing that you don't like about your true self. You genuinely love your true self.
Wow.
It's when you're not being yourself, you don't like that. This is the part that you don't really like as much. So,
but does then, okay, just say like being your true self, does that mean letting go of the other qualities or from the other two? Yeah.
So you probably can't avoid in totality, like ever being like the elephant, because you're going to have a dark side of who you are. It's what it means to be human. So it's also like when you're able to come out of survival, because whilst you're in survival mode, you'll be operating at the least authentic version of who you are,
which is the elephant.
Yeah, that's how you start displaying others, because you feel like you've got to put this mask out there to the world, and
protect everyone else. Yeah.
Exactly. Each mask that you have, so this is like the first mask, and then that's the second mask. So it's still kind of who you are, but it's not the most real version. It's just what you put out to people. This is the second mask that you pull off, and this is now who you really are.
Right.
So that's just you, like, bare, naked in front of everyone. This is like literally who you are for everyone to see your soul. So when you're being most authentic, this is who you're being. And if you're not speaking from that space, if you're not acting from that space like that one who can fly, who is strong, who is intelligent, fast, like, you're not being the highest version of who you are. You're just being the lowest version. Does that mean not authentic if you sometimes end up in this place? It just means that there's probably quite a bit of pressure that you're dealing with that has meant that now you're tapped in and tuned into survival mode rather than in your place. But when you're thriving, then you feel like you can fly. Then you feel like you're strong, which is probably one of the reasons why, a bit like myself, sometimes I would want to go to different countries because, oh, this is something I never shared with you, what my animals are.
Yeah. Go on.
So my animals, when somebody did this with me for the first time, is the number one is I said I was a dragon.
Wow.
So I was like,
Mythical.
I can, yeah. I mean, it could be a mythical dragon, but like I was just thinking of, like, you know, dragons in Shrek and like these movies, like that's how I would see myself, like, as a dragon. So that's what I'm projecting when I'm performing. It's like I'm trying to showcase myself as being the dragon, but that's not really. It's close, but it's not really who I am. The middle one for me was a lion. So that's how people would view me, like I'm a lion.
Yeah.
The majesty, like, and just even the look for everything. People say that I'm like a lion, but then who I really am, funnily enough, is also an eagle.
There you go.
Which is great because it shows me that I must be doing something right with my marketing if I'm attracting other
Expecting
eagles.
the same kind of, this is the thing,
I'm attracting my
getting
soul
the
tribe.
same kind of people that are in alignment with who you are.
The thing about the eagles is that they're some of the rarest people, because the apex predators, it's not like an ant, it's not like a sheep, it's not like a dog. Eagles are like very rare, but every eagle that I know is very much like me or very good at what they do. So eagles are leaders, definitely, and eagles are the godlike ones. So
this is the thing. I don't see myself as a leader, and I think that's
because
maybe I'm still seeing myself as the elephant.
Because you haven't put yourself forward.
Yeah, that's it. I haven't put myself forward enough to get that feeling of being a leader.
I mean, which of these qualities do you feel like is not a good description of you from how you see it?
At the moment? No, I mean, I have maybe that precision one.
Let's change this from precision eyesight to precision vision. Eagle vision.
Yeah, vision is better, I think.
Because I'm the same. My eyesight is terrible. I'm supposed to wear glasses. I don't wear them, but I got vision.
Now I'm literally blind without my glasses.
Yeah. Because this is the thing. When you look at the superhero, the Daredevil, like, he's literally blind, but he can see things better than other people can.
Right. Yes, it's not just like a literal eyesight. It's more vision. Yeah, that's a better word.
Yeah. He's seeing with something else. He's seeing with his heart. So that's me too. Like, I have bad eyesight, but I got vision. I can see within, and I can see with my heart. Aside from that, is there anything that doesn't feel like it represents you?
No.
There you go. So the thing is like, logically, you know that this is you, but it's just that sometimes when you're not feeling you're sometimes when you're more in survival mode, you're gonna see yourself more like this.
Yeah.
So then it just becomes about getting into survival mode, which is all about being able to essentially move closer and closer towards love rather than into fear. When you're closest into fear, I mean, I pulled this up for Taha the other day in terms of the levels of consciousness. I'm not sure if I've shared this with you before. I might have, but when you're in survival,
in the one,
you're low down here. That's when you'll see yourself as the elephant. You'll need to perform more. You're not being authentic. But if you can come higher, because even positivity is like quite a low vibration when you look at it. It's not really that.
Wow. I didn't realize positivity was right down there.
Yeah. So if you want to, like, when you think about it, the first two, this is kind of like where you are when you are seeing yourself as the elephant. This is where you are when you're the tiger. But this is who you really are when you're the eagle. We can, like, you're in your inner light, inner wisdom, inner love, presence, high awareness, divine love even. This is where you are when you're in the eagle.
Wow. How do I get up there?
Two ways. So one of the things I was saying to Taha as well is that it's either about being able to let go of what is bringing you down. Because here's the thing, the game is not necessarily about how can you get up there. That's easy. If you want to just get up there, do a breathwork exercise, do a Reiki session, and you'll feel up there. The game is more about how can you stay up there.
Yeah.
How can you sustain it? So the thing that is going to be holding you down is any anchor that you have within, which could be, it's all about your subconscious. Like if I was to, let me pull up a different diagram now to show the way that the subconscious works, is that in your subconscious, you've got your imagination, identification, cultural paradigms, defense mechanisms, perception of self, associations, beliefs, fears, tastes, patterns, habits, values. All of these things are the things that are going to determine what is going to be on the surface. And so you may, because remember how, like, you started this conversation and you were saying things like, I feel like I'm stuck. I don't know what's holding me back, but I kind of know everything. Logically, I think there's a logical problem. So what I'm trying to say here is that the problem that you have, I don't think it's a logical problem. I don't think it's a physical problem. I think it's genuinely more of a spiritual problem, and a subconscious problem that exists beneath the surface because of your identity. So it could be something around a limiting belief. It could be around a particular fear. It could be around a particular pattern that you may have, or like the meta values. These are the things that I believe for yourself right now, because even when you look at it, this is the 95%. This is huge. An iceberg, massive beneath the surface. Everyone thinks that it's big on the top just because it looks big compared to us. But no, you go beneath the surface, it's massive. And this is the thing that will make the Titanic sink. Not by hitting the top of it, but hitting the bottom. Yeah. So the question is, how do we overcome that? And I guess it kind of takes us back to the original topic of the conversation that we're having around your meta values. And this is the reason for why I was pulling up your doing that exercise with you to find out, like, who you really are, etc. The big reason why is because
Cut off again.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. I'm just changing my camera again because I think it should be taken care of now. So the thing with the exercise, the reason why I was doing it is so we can uncover what your meta values might be, right? Because your meta values is going to be more about like who you really are. So if I can actually share my screen again, and we look at like putting, I would say, this information into ChatGPT, kind of like the way we did for Taha. And we say, here are my meta values. Oh, no, I'm going to say here are Yasmin's just so it doesn't get confused. Here are Yasmin's meta values. And here are her core values. So your core values are family, faith, and freedom.
Yeah.
So my question now would be, can you first give me a summary of her meta values in a phrase, just 3 to 5 words max? And then, I mean, we got it into 1 word. Can you give 200? Wait, no, we'll do this first. Okay. Graceful, unstoppable, divine power. Can you give me 10 to 20 more, just like this, so we can choose the best one? Divine, precise, soaring strength, graceful, lethal, higher sight, unbreakable, elegant, apex force, strategic, divine, predatory grace, effortless, fearsome, divine mastery, calm, clinical, aerial power, unstoppable, wise, sovereign energy, high vision, graceful domination, majestic, unfuckable precision, fast, focused, divine might, silent, sovereign, apex grace, elevated, intimidating, divine poise, beautiful, ruthless, higher force, graceful, commanding, celestial strength, sharp-sighted, unshakable power, elegant, strategic, apex clarity, divine, far-seeing, lethal grace, regal, precise, unstoppable flight, beautiful, dominant, aerial wisdom, focused, divine, predatory, calm. Was any of them that stuck out for you most?
First few were quite good. But
Yeah.
I can't, my screen's small. I'm using my phone because my tablet wasn't working. But I think
Okay.
the first, after the first 6 were.
Okay, I can quickly read them aloud again. So there's the first one that we were given, which is graceful, unstoppable, divine power.
I like that one also, to be honest.
Yeah? Okay, let's just keep that one for now. And then if you want to change them, you can. So now I'm going to say, we like this one the best. Can you now help us do the remyelination process by giving 200 reasons why why graceful, unstoppable power will benefit from having family, faith, and freedom. I think out of the 3 of them, if you look at family, faith, and freedom, which one do you feel like you have least alignment within right now? Do you think it's the family, the faith, the freedom? Which one would you want to have the biggest change?
Freedom.
I thought you were going to say that. Here we go. So freedom lets power flow without obstruction. Freedom amplifies divine intuition. Freedom allows grace to express itself fully. Freedom removes limits that weaken momentum. Freedom gives space for clarity to emerge. Freedom unlocks higher vision. Freedom nurtures creativity. Freedom strengthens personal sovereignty. Freedom preserves spiritual integrity. Freedom honors her nature as a force, not an object. Freedom fuels inspired action. Freedom prevents stagnation of potential, keeps aligned with divine purpose, supports self-mastery. So this is like 20, and there's 200. And yeah, like this is how you develop a lot more of that neural connection, which will allow you to not necessarily just have self-awareness, but also just move in alignment with higher authenticity, because you're gonna be able to. I just want to see that I'm doing this right as well. So what was the I think I'm doing this right, but it was the Power Code worksheet that I took this from. And in here, damn, that's not the workbook though. Might be something that I downloaded. Power Code. No, it's not there. I search for. Oh, this is it. How is building a business that serves ever greater numbers of people a benefit and service to my highest values? Yeah. So let me just try and ask that question a little bit differently and see if I get a different answer. Give me 200 reasons again for this question. So let's, when you talk about freedom, can you just describe freedom for me a bit more? Because freedom is kind of general.
Yeah, freedom means different things to different people, I guess. For me, freedom would mean not being stuck in one place. Freedom of movement, then, let's put it that way.
Yeah. So how is location freedom? Is there anything else about the freedom?
Financial freedom, obviously. Don't have to, that's one thing that keeps people in a particular area or space for most of their lives.
Yeah. Financial freedom and location freedom. Is there anything else about the freedom?
I would say time freedom, but I don't think my time is restricted at the moment in any way. So that's not my, yeah.
So I think like the biggest thing for you is...
The biggest one is the movement and...
Yeah.
Yeah, location and financial.
Yeah. Location freedom, a benefit and service to Yeah. Here we go. So there's all of these that you can give a read. And
Can you send it to me, please?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's still cooking. Yeah, I would definitely like give this list a bit of a read, because I think the main thing that you develop from this that is the most tangible benefit is that it'll take you to having like real conviction, because you know, in sales, the formula for success is simple. It's just skill times by conviction. And I would much rather work with somebody who is convicted 100% as opposed to somebody who is skilled 100%. Because I've had that experience. I've had the experience of somebody who's convicted 100%, no skill, and 100% skill, no conviction, barely any, or engineered conviction, and night and day difference. Because when you're operating from that place of conviction, like you're genuinely able to like go ahead and share that with others, but also move from a whole different space now, because it's not going to feel like you're trying to get conviction. It's like you already have it without the results. You just know in your heart, like for all these reasons, this is why you have to do this thing, you know, because it's in your heart. Like if you're not sold yourself on your own opportunity in totality.
Anyone else. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think this will really help with the subconscious work. But then we were going back to the original topic of conversation was the ads. So there is mindset, of course, but then there's skill set that you cannot really avoid. And one of the things that you were kind of talking about was how you, with the ads, like feel as though there's a little bit of confusion, not necessarily full clarity. So I think the main thing is this is just like you were saying about you have to kind of jump in rather than try figure it all out before you haven't jumped in.
Yeah. I think that's my problem. I'm waiting to have like all my ducks in a row before I do anything, and that's not the way it works. That's not the way you get progress.
Yeah. So you can't have clarity on everything, because if you wait till you have clarity on everything, you just won't start, because you'll never have clarity until you progress. So what you really want is just simply clarity on the next step, right? So do you feel like right now you have clarity on your next step?
Yes. I need to start creating more ads.
Okay.
Not just like focus on one, on like that's what I did with the first one. It's just try and focus on it and make it like the best I could do. But that's not the aim. That shouldn't be the aim, because it might be the worst one.
Yeah. And look at it this way.
That demotivates me when I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Like at the moment, I know you post consistently on your Instagram, right? Yeah. What if in the posts that you're doing, by the way, the posts are getting better and better.
I was thinking you were going to say that, because it's starting to get a little bit more real, I think.
Yeah, they're more real. They're more like, I can see you're using CapCut differently. Just on this
Yeah.
one, like I pulled out my Instagram now. I can see CapCut's making them look good. So there was one where you were speaking to the camera. I was like, this is the best one that you've ever made. Like,
Oh, in the one in the car, yeah. I was waiting
Yeah.
for a kid.
that's the best one that you've ever made. And imagine if like you did like over the next, sort of 10, 20 days, you just made a commitment to every single day doing one video where there's no call to action, and you do one video where there is a call to action, and you just put out like 20 different ones where you have all your ads, call to actions. I mean, even if you don't necessarily get so many leads from those ads, what if you got one? What if you got a couple? What if you got a person that messaged you back and was like, yo, I'm interested? You give yourself the opportunity to actually have leads that are coming in, and you get to see, is this the perfect ad? Like, not necessarily perfect, but is this the best ad without spending a dime? Right?
Yeah, just testing. I mean, testing out on
Yeah, because if
people that are already in there.
here's the brutal truth. When you look at right now what you have in abundance, would you say that you have money in abundance or you have time in abundance?
Time.
That's how it feels right now. Like, you got more time than you have more money.
Yeah.
So whilst you have more time than you have more money, you might as well just sacrifice the time, because it's not going to be as detrimental as sacrificing the money, right? So you've been doing great with what you've been doing with your time in terms of building brand, but now, like, basically in marketing, we have two opposites. So there's the feminine type, and then there's the masculine type. I'll say for myself, I've had a journey of like going on either extremes, where when I first started, it was probably overly feminine, just doing brand building, putting out videos, not putting out ads. Then it became, okay, I stopped doing the videos and I just started putting out ads. Did that for a very long time, didn't see any results, spent like 10K on ads and got barely anything back. And then after that, like, it became a thing where I started to put out brand building posts and ads together. And when I did that, that's when I was getting some of my best results. That's okay, Taha. We'll see in a bit. Peace. So when I did that, that's when I started to get some of my best results, because I had like the balance. The balance was real nice. And then I stopped and I just did ads again. So I leant way more towards that masculine side without having the feminine of nurturing through content. So the lesson here is, don't do what I did. The lesson here is make sure that you maintain this balance. By starting to just make more asks, right? Starting to just call forth your audience a little bit more and talk a little bit more about the mission. Because like, for example, when you watch that video that I'm talking about as well, it'll break down like the anatomy of an ad, how you can make the perfect ad, everything like that. There's a document that he has in there too that you can utilize. Everything I put in the vault, so it's all in Cashflow Community School. But in terms of how you actually start making your ads, you'll just notice that by the end of the 20, 30 days, you'll be so thankful that you didn't put out the first ad from day one, because of how much you'll have grown by day 20. You'll be like, the day one ad was terrible, so I might as well just have made them and post.
It's like an injustice to not at least try it, maybe.
No,
see what the feedback is.
Yeah, so what I would say is, like, any ad that you make, post.
So do you think it would be like wise to post that one that I made on my Instagram? Because it seems not me.
Then I would probably say don't post it if you don't feel like it's authentic, because this is the thing. Like, you know,
the message is there.
The
it's
message.
Just that like maybe because it's like not me in it.
So here's what I would say: like, if you want the maximum leverage, you can't rely on AI, because is just not physical leverage, it's also spiritual leverage. And if you want to be able to get the best returns for the money that you're putting in, you can't just have physical leverage. You also have to rely on the spiritual leverage, which is getting to start speaking from your soul, because AI can never replace the soul.
Yeah.
That's how, like, you'll just have, for example, the opportunity to attract somebody who can genuinely come into your soul tribe. But you have way less of a chance of doing that when all you're utilizing is AI.
Mm-hmm.
And you have way less of a chance of doing that when all you're doing is putting out a picture of yourself versus a written post versus like a reel versus actually speaking directly to the camera. It doesn't have to be long. How can you put out that same message in 30 to 60 seconds and just capture someone's attention? I genuinely think that if you did this for the next 20 days, you'll probably just get organic leads. And by you'll be like, you know what? Because this is what I would recommend doing if I was you. I'd be like, just continue on this process of putting out the brand building content, putting out an ad. And if you just did that like every single day, even whilst you've got some money coming into the ads, eventually what's going to happen is that you won't be worrying about not being able to put money into ads to grow your business. Month one, let's say you did this month one, and in the first month, you just put out 20 ads on your Instagram account and you got 5 leads.
Yeah.
If you got 5 leads on month one from putting out 20 different posts, that's amazing. Because then month 2, you do the exact same thing, but you get better. Your account to get more reach. So month 2, it's not 5 leads, but it's like 15. 15 leads for free?
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Now, what about month 3, where it's not 15 leads, but you're building up on it again? Now you get 50 leads for free. That's just your testing.
Yeah.
So you can see how this can start to skyrocket with the organic, because you'll always just have leads that you're able to generate for free that then can contribute towards your ad budget. Because if you get a sale from the organic, now you put that towards ad budget and it just goes on top. So the baseline every single month, organically, you know, you're just increasing in terms of your skill. But then inorganically, you're getting good with the investing because you're maintaining the minimum budget that just comes from your like income that's not necessarily from your business. You're maintaining the minimum every single month because you got a commitment for like, let's say 6 to 12 months of just doing this strategy of putting in that amount. But what will get you the biggest return on your ad spend is just make more ads than anybody else is willing to. There's no secret. There's no secret. And this is what everybody wants. They're like, what's the secret to making the best ad one time? There's no secret. Just make more ads than anyone else.
Numbers game.
Consistent.
Yeah. Remain consistent. Make loads of ads. I tell you who's doing pretty well right now with this content is Steven. Like if you go to his YouTube channel, every single day he's just putting out a new video. Some of them organically are getting like 1,000 views, like a couple of thousand views. But he's being consistent, right? So you might not necessarily be getting those views on Instagram. And what I say to that is like, why just put the ads on Instagram when you got TikTok, you've got Facebook, you've got YouTube Shorts. The more that you spread them out across different platforms, the more data that you get back. So it's just like, it's the equivalent of testing on Ads Manager, because Ads Manager is going to give you, let's say, 1,000 people that it's going to put the ad out to, and Instagram might only give you 10. Well, if you did Instagram, you did TikTok, you did YouTube, you did Facebook, then you could have 100. And then 10 days of doing that, you get the same amount that you get for putting on Ads Manager on Facebook, on Facebook or any of these platforms.
Well, you say like YouTube now, even if I'm not on YouTube, still put in. I haven't really posted anything on.
You were never on Instagram, so you had to go onto Instagram to be on Instagram.
Okay. I mean, just like post the same, whatever I'm posting on Instagram, just put it on the other platforms as well. Okay, right, okay. Not separate ones.
Yeah, just the same stuff everywhere. because
Okay.
every one of these platforms now has Reels. So everything that you put on Instagram Reels, you put on Facebook Reels. Everything that
Yeah.
you put on Instagram Reels, you put on TikTok Reels. Everything that you put in on the Reels, you put on the Shorts on YouTube. You just put it everywhere.
Right.
And there are certain apps that allow you to just, from the click of a button, just distribute it everywhere. There's one called Tailwind that I used to use. But you just search on ChatGPT, like, how can I, from one click, put the
Put it
content?
on all your accounts. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just do it.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Because you never know.
Okay.
Like, your audience might actually be lesser than Instagram audience. My audience, I thought, was very Instagram. And then I realized that TikTok was a bit better for me. That's where I found Anthony. That's where I found Luke. That's where I found Roy. That's where I found like just most of my top leaders I found from TikTok, because I realized it was more like a video platform compared to Instagram. That's more like aesthetic. But now I'm realizing that, you know what, my people are actually on YouTube. That's where they really are. So I'm excited for this new season of growth that we're going into, where I'm just going to be hammering out organic content on YouTube and seeing who that attracts. Because I know it's going to be a high quality person. So yeah, if you can distribute it across all platforms, you're going to get a lot more feedback, a lot more data, and you're going to get good. That's the main thing. Because the biggest assurance for your success is just get good. Like, no one can ever take skill away from you then anymore. Because when you look at it and you think about the skills that you've already developed up until this point, right? The main skill that you've developed is probably what? What would you say?
Mindset.
That's not really a skill. That's
the content, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And in content, because there's skills in content, like what skills you feel like you developed in content?
My reels look better now than they used to. But the quality of it is better.
So you're better at editing, would you say? Or even creating? So the creative process, you've got better at that. And you're better at editing.
Yeah.
Now, could you have got that from me teaching you, like giving you clarity on it? No.
And I didn't get it either from copying others, because that's what I started off doing, isn't it? Like just seeing what everyone else was doing and trying to copy it. But it wasn't sustainable then, because it just didn't feel good to create like that. I think I found my sort of comfort zone, but I'm trying to break out of that comfort zone a little bit and do more of those like talking reels, but real ones, not the script ones.
Because here's the thing that you'll realize too. What you'll realize is that like the creation and the editing is all upstream. It's the most difficult, takes the most time, and it gets you the worst results. Whereas when you just literally like on the opposite extreme, every single day, boom, you just click the go live button, quick 5-minute video or half an hour video, whatever it is, chop that up one sitting, make 20 videos out of it, drop it all across the Instagram in one particular day. Relax for the rest of the week. Like when you get to that.
To be honest, I've been thinking about ever since I made that one video, the one sitting in the car. I thought, I could just do this now, and then, like you say, chop it up and just put like 7 2-minute videos out for the whole week, and that's it.
Yeah, batch cook. Like you think about it, you're not just cooking a meal for you. You're cooking a meal for all of your people who are coming to eat with you, right? So it's the same thing. If you was to do catering, you're probably not going to cook like one individual plate of food for each person that you're serving to. You'd be like, no, I'm going to cook you one big pot, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be able to sustain like everybody over here the entire week. I ain't going to do this too many times over. Like that's how caterers work. It's the same thing with your content. Is you want to look at it like catering, because it's not just it's not just the efficiency, but it's also the authenticity. It's going to be more authentic when it's you cooking it, and it's your soul that's being expressed. Because when you are like putting out content and it is you trying to create a 2-minute or like a 10-second, 15-second, 60-second video, and you're trying to like just get it out for the outcome, then it's probably going to be more ego than it is soul, because you're not necessarily giving as much to it. You're more so like trying to just get an outcome. I'm not saying that it's always like that. I do think that there's levels of how people can engineer virality and success by getting good with super good creatives and understanding the algorithm, etc.
But that's a different kind of audience they're attracting.
It's a different kind of audience. It's a different game that they're playing.
Yeah.
Okay? So the game that we're playing is not about like attraction marketing through,
aesthetics. Yeah.
Aesthetics, even though that can work in initial attraction, right? Well, the game that we're really playing is, what is the connection depth that you can get as well from the soul connection by you giving your soul to the digital platform and then letting it take over and do what it needs to do.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just sort of reinforced what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Over the last few days.
With the ads, can't do that as much, like, because you have to. So to be honest, that's a lie. So I have seen people put out ads that are like podcast ads that are doing really well right now, where they do an interview or they get somebody to talk about a product, and then they'll just chop up like the parts where they're really selling whatever it is. And those ads are actually doing very well because they're authentic, but they're also like short form. So I think that's a lot more difficult to make. But for me, the authenticity in an ad comes after volume, because there comes a point where it's just like you start thinking to yourself, how am I going to make like 100 ads in a month? Because you had that as your aim, like, let me make 100 ads in a month.
I don't even know. I would think about that. I would never have conceived like someone could make 100 ads, like,
Yeah, but as soon as you start thinking about it, your mind shifts and you start thinking more creatively. But if you're in like one ad, your creativity is so low. Like you just don't have to pull out creativity from you. And that creativity is not just going to come in like the actual ad itself, but it's going to come in, how can I actually make 100 ads in that period of time? And then in the process of doing it, like, you're going to recognize that it has to be easy, it has to be fun, it has to be flowy, it has to be something of which I enjoy doing. Otherwise, this isn't going to be possible for me to do it. On the opposite side of the spectrum, if it's friction, if it's hard, if it's something that you don't enjoy doing, you don't like, then you can do one ad by doing that, but it'll take you the whole month, which is when you kind of look back and you look at the initial one that you made with AI, like by the end of it, yeah, sure. I mean, you've got something that's better than what my first ad was. I'll be real. But I guarantee you this is that it's going to be probably one of the worst ads that you've ever made. And you look back and think, how could I even have thought to have put that ad out compared to like this that's now coming from my heart and my soul? Because again, it's going back to us saying about the conviction. The AI can never replicate the same conviction that you have in your mission compared to what a person will feel when they're hearing it from you. So what I would say is like, in AI ads and stuff like that, I mean, they can be good to bring people to your Instagram platform, your Instagram or your initial profile. But then on your profile, there has to be just so much like stuff that can actually connect with the audience. And then even then it's like, well, if you've got one thing on the profile and you got another thing on the ad, then you haven't got congruency. So the person that comes through the ad hits the profile and they're like, this isn't actually what I was expecting. I was expecting the other mum in there who
was in the ad.
Yeah, but this is not that mom.
But she ain't real. The AI.
But if it likes you at the front, because they see who you are straight away, and you've shown the soul version of who you are, like the closest to authenticity, they're bound to like you at the next steps too. That's what I've learned.
It's consistent. Like they're not left confused then at any point.
It's congruency and it's integrity. And anytime that you're going to pass the baton onto somebody else, it has to be so clear as to what's happening.
Why? Yeah.
If they don't know, like, you know, why it's happening and it's just kind of random, they're gonna drop off. But when it's like really clear as to why this is happening, then they'll stay on. And it's difficult to communicate that clarity in your short form content, which is why it's more so better to do that over a call or, you know, in a longer video that you have on the back end. But no, in the beginning, like, more clarity, more congruency, more consistency, that is what is necessary.
Right. Okay. I'm going to put these into some action over the next few days, weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you're already taking action. You just got to put a call to action in there. That's it.
Yeah.
Once you've got a call to action, then you've got an ad.
I think because I've not gotten much response whenever I have put out like those call to actions. But then again, those were just scripted, you know, ChatGPT content pieces basically. So these are going to be different.
Yeah. The biggest thing, like I said, is to convey conviction. So, you know, like even before you start the ad, what I'd recommend doing is like just actually like looking at your list of reasons for why you're doing what you're doing, build up the conviction, the 200 reasons and etc. Build it within yourself and then just like share what's in your heart and then have a call to action at the end.
Right. Thank you. That was really, really helpful.
I'm glad. Which part the most?
All of it. Like, just I needed that someone to sort of tell me, okay, what are you waiting for? Like, all you need to do is just act on it. It's like, you know the stuff. I know it. But I just wait for someone to say it, and then I'm like, okay, I need to do it.
Yeah, but I also think it's like everybody wants the success with none of the sacrifice or the effort. So it's kind of like you're in a state where you're fooling yourself. It's going to be easy. It's just going to be easy. But then you just have to like be honest with yourself and be like, it probably isn't easy, because if it was easy, then everyone would have it. So why not just stop trying to make it what it isn't and let me see if I can change? Because if I change, then the results might change. And if I just like give everything that I've got to this, go all in with my action or with the thing that I have, which is time that you have, then chances are like you're going to attract someone who is going to just see the dedication. They're going to see the all-inness. They're going to feel the conviction, and they're going to be like, I can follow that person. Because the commitment that they have to their success makes me feel safe.
Yeah.
But when you don't have that commitment to success, you jump on a sales call with a person and they can sniff it from a mile away that this person's just trying to make money out of me and then dip.
Yeah, I don't want it to come across as that.
Yeah.
Like,
but if you show the commitment, because it's like, how would you know that somebody is most genuine? Like, what do you think genuine? Where do you think genuineness come from?
The conviction.
Yeah.
Someone that's actually passionate about what it is that they're trying to sell you.
Yeah. And another big part about it is authenticity, right?
Yeah.
Because when you look at the definition of conviction, it's truly what something is said to be and authentic. So you are who you say you are. And if what you're saying to them is that, hey, I can be your leader, like, I will care about you, I will make sure that you're good, I won't stop, I'm going to keep going. Like, if it's coming from words, then it means nothing to them. But if you can literally show them, here's everything I've invested.
Yeah.
This is showing you like how much I'm committed to my journey. And when you look at that leadership gap as well, like, no one is ever going to be able to commit more than you have. You set the standard. So when a person comes in and they look at, whoa, this Yasmin woman, I mean, I can follow her because I've not even put out a post on my social media. She's put out brand building posts. She's got her audience together. She's got a niche. She's got a high ticket offer. She's got a mentor. She's got like 40 ads that she's put out this month. I mean, whoa, this woman she's going somewhere. She's unstoppable grace, divine power, right? And from that space, people will look at the things that you're saying to them. Things like, for example, somebody's on a sales call with you and being like, I just don't know if I can do this with my kids and with all the time that I don't have and whatever it is. And you saying to them like, well, you can either make excuses or you can make money. You can't make both. Which one do you want it to be? If you say that, but you yourself are making so many excuses and not taking action, doing what you know you could be doing, the word doesn't have any weight. But if a person can see like you just don't make excuses and you turn your excuses into your reasons why, like if they can see it by the actions that you're taking, then they're just not going to dispute. They'll be like, I'm glad you said that because she's saying what I wanted her to say to me, not just letting me go. But there's a different level of respect that you gain. And I think this is the other thing about like when people just get lucky by putting out their first ad and it goes to a winner, as much as that could be a great thing in terms of you being able to get quick results, those type of people tend to find duplication difficult. And I've seen it because no one...
The easy win. You haven't learned much.
You get the easy win and your words just don't have the same weight. So this is why some people will come into my team from other teams because they were like, I can tell you've been through everything that I've been through that I'm struggling with and you somehow found a way out. So we can follow you because you get us. Whereas they were learning and listening at they were 40, 50 years old, learning and listening from people who are 22, 23, that just got a winning ad quickly, but couldn't actually understand what the other person was going through because they've only had it easy. And I'm not saying that it is easy. It's just that some people genuinely do get results quicker because they just take to it easier, right? So for yourself, if you're showing this effort that you're putting in, the sacrifice that you're making, then it only makes your influence a lot stronger. And now that I know that you're an eagle as well, you should be doing sales calls. You should 100% be doing sales calls because
I really want to listen into sales calls because I think I'm a learner that likes to sort of watch before I do.
Yeah. Well, we can do this then because every day, from about 6 p.m., I jump on the phones and I just invite a couple of people to either jump on this or to go and take a look at the information in the school. So I spoke with 2 people today and both the conversations pretty epic. And they're about to go through some information and spoke to one person on Saturday. So I'm averaging 1 a day just because I don't want to fall out of love with it. And I want to sustain something of which is going to mean that I can reflect and not just go hard in volume and burn out. But every day I'm getting a new connection and conversation where I'm these are getting better and better. So you can listen to some of them and how I do them, but it's it would be easy to do because I could just I think I can create like a room in school where we go live, but it's only me and you that are in there. Nobody else can even see that we're there, and then you can just like watch me do dials.
Yeah. Would I be able to hear the other person on the phone?
Yeah, because I just have them on my phone, right? So I'd call them on my phone, and then you can hear how I am with them. Yeah, but
let's do some of those.
Yeah,
I think that might motivate me a little bit.
Yeah, because you'll just see like what I'm doing, and it'll eventually click. And I think you're gonna see it in real time rather than like listening to a recording. Because when you listen to a recording, it feels like a podcast. But when you're seeing it live, you're like, oh, he could mess this up at any point, and it's just a little bit more real. So
yeah, what's suspense?
There's a suspense there because you know that I could at any point like just get turned away. But funnily enough, like what I was about to say is that what I've realized over the last couple of weeks of just getting back into the flow of doing them is that like when I first started off, it was more performative. It was more like, let me try and just follow the script so I can pass that script on to somebody else, or because I don't feel like I've got the same level of confidence that I've had in the past when I've been more consistent. But let me just like start with the script. And then most recently, it's just no script, no agenda, just literally the main intention is my call is going to be best based off of a few things, but I'd say the number one thing is my authenticity. Can I, because one of the things is this has been kind of most difficult for me is like being authentic in the introduction. So can I be authentic in my introduction with somebody that's cold, like doesn't really know who I am?
Yeah.
That's something that can be kind of difficult. But then after the authentic introduction, the next part's really easy for me, and you'll watch that enough times and be like, oh yeah, I see how he's doing at the end. The hardest part is the intro. And if you can master the intro, it's like a couple of words. Or it's not even the words, let me put it differently. It's more about how you show up. And I believe a big part of that is actually due to your self-worth. So when you've been able to like overcome your issues with self-worth, and you start to love yourself a little bit more, like you're not judging yourself so much, you can just show up in a conversation authentically with another person from the very beginning of the call. And then because you've given such a solid first impression, they're now just like, I want to keep talking to you. Literally, somebody today, both people today, funny enough, very different conversations. One of them was like, by the end of the call, because like an hour and a half, they were saying, I don't want to stop talking to you. Like, I've got to go make food, but I don't want to stop talking to you. The second person, it was a cold call. I don't think I've ever spoken with them before, but within 2 to 3 minutes, they were like, listen, I've really got to go. I would love to continue this conversation. And that's what I was saying. Like, use the word love. So when you know that when somebody's saying, I would love to continue this conversation, you know there's something that you're doing that is right. And the third thing that I would say has been working like really well for me is staying consistent with reading a book that was actually recommended from Ryan, who you know from like Waves of Impact.
Yeah.
He recommended a book to Anthony when we were in Montenegro called The Greatest Salesman in the World. And I remember like Anthony listening to this every single day for about 30 days, because that's what the book tells you to do. Like just listen to a couple of chapters a day and then like build on from that. And he was doing it every single day. So I wasn't listening to it. I could just overhear it. I was like, this stuff is good. Like this is the stuff. Like people think it's something else, but this is the stuff. And he exploded from that. Like it was literally a game changer. And he got all of his team to listen to that too before they'd start the dials. And they started getting good results too. So I was like, that's a smart move that you've just taken there. Let me implement that for myself now. And that's what I've been doing as of recent is like over the last 7 to 10 days, it's just every single day listening to the first couple of chapters of that. And it just sets my mind like really in the right place. for the entire day. Like even if I wasn't doing sales calls, I would want to listen to that because of how it makes you feel. It's great.
Yeah.
So I can send you the link for that.
Yes.
And starting tomorrow, what I'd recommend is like listening to the first couple of chapters, because I think what it will do is it will genuinely start to change your perspective about sales. Because that's the biggest thing that is holding you back right now. Is not actually your skill. It's not necessarily your conviction that you have in your offer or anything like that. I think it's just your perspective on sales. Because I actually remember, like, one of the biggest game changers for myself in my business was when my perspective on the profession and the industry of like network marketing, number one, that all shifted when I went to my first network marketing event. Before then, I had this like limiting belief that network marketing is a scam. It's like pyramid thing. And then when I went to GoPro, everything shifted because there was thousands of people and they were speaking about it with so much passion and love. And I was like, whoa, you guys don't even have as good companies as I do, but you still have this like such a pride that you hold towards being a network marketer. And I was like, everything shifted for me then, and I was able to have more pride for the work that I do. And it's the same thing that happened for sales. And I think when I went to the event in LA a few months ago, I thought I liked sales, but now I'm like, whoa, sales is so much cooler than I thought it was. And that's even after years of working in sales. So working in a job in sales, I think that ruined my my mindset around sales, and the same with the people who saw me working there. But going to that event and hearing the way that those guys were speaking about it, it was like, yeah, sales is actually awesome. It's so good. And this book will do the same thing for you, where you just listen to the first couple of chapters of that every day. It doesn't take that long, but it will completely shift the way you view it.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds like something I need on a daily basis. You're right.
Literally. Yeah. And it actually says like 3 times a day is how much you want to be listening.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Like the first chapter or 2. So if you do it minimum once a day, like that's great. But this is one of the things where I'd recommend, like, you know, when you go to sleep, you could have some earphones. One of the things I bought from Amazon is like it's a pillow speaker. So you put it underneath your pillow, and because the subconscious never sleeps, then you just put on an audio and you're able to reprogram the subconscious during your sleep. So I would do that. And this is one of them type of books where it wants to be in your subconscious. So like that's one time that you could do it. Another time you could do it is when you first wake up, you're cooking food, or you're just doing something that you'd normally be listening to music to, or a podcast. Like, this is the type of thing that you just want to have in your ear all the time. Because because literally, like, if you think about it, the title is everything. I mean, if you genuinely believed that you're the greatest salesman in the world, or the saleswoman in the world, you'd have no problems whatsoever with your business, because you know that you'd be able to go out there and every single day go and make sales. Like, you would do the work because you believe that that's who you were, right? So the book is great, not just for the title, but actually this is one of the ones where it's good for the title and the contents, because the contents is just gold.
I'm so excited now to listen to this book.
Yeah. Funnily enough, like, I used to sell books all the time to my team and like other people, because I'd read so many and I would, like, you know, fully recommend it, be passionate about it, share their conviction around it. But I stopped doing it because I was like, one, reading a lot less and seeing that people needed to take more action than they did to read books.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I haven't recommended for you to read that many books the way that I'm doing right now. But when I recommend somebody a book, they don't just buy the book, they love the book, they read the book, they get it straight away because of how good I am at selling books. But
they told us one to me.
Oh yeah, I'm so good at selling books. And again, like, there's no sales strategy. It's just literally, this is pure conviction that I'm sharing with you right now.
Yeah.
So imagine if you have this for, like, your prospects when they're coming through and they're just like hearing the conviction and they're like, I want you to stop talking so I can go listen to the book, you know?
Yeah.
That's what people will be like. And that's what you gain when you have conviction that you can start sharing. So again, going back to like the whole thing around belief, right, and conviction, you got belief in your Enagic products, hands down, without a doubt. I think you even have belief in the business side of Enagic because you've seen like waves of impact. You've seen people who are leaders. You've seen that it's possible. So you've got belief in that. You got belief in your mentor. You know that like I'll be able to help you, your people. I'll be there for you. I'm in alignment with the type of tribe that you're bringing in. So you got belief in your mentor, and now it's like, okay, you're thinking that it's belief in the system, but I don't think it's belief in the system that you need. I think you have enough belief in your system. I think it's more so like belief in the actual work, because you have got it with like the content and the branding, but you haven't had it with making ads.
Yeah.
So I've given you a little bit here, and you haven't had it with like sales, right?
Yeah.
Because you're looking
Haven't
at that.
had any experience with that, with either of them.
Yeah, it's like you almost wish that they weren't in the model at the moment. It's like
yeah.
It's like I wish I didn't have to do ads. I wish I didn't have to do sales. But when you start reframing your mindset around it, it's not going to be like I wish I didn't have to do it, or I have to do this to make sales. It's going to be like I get to
do it sooner.
Yeah, I wish I would have done this sooner because this is awesome. This is the best part about it. Like the best part about this business for me personally is that I get to do sales. I get to like change people's lives, and I get to make connections with awesome people around the world. That's the best part about it. And people who are in my soul tribe, right?
Yeah.
So to want to avoid that completely, I get it initially when you want to just like get the results so you can have the belief that Enagic works, like it's not a scam, like they do pay out money. I get it initially when you want that, but then when you're looking at what this business can really give you, the best thing that it can give you is through exercising the mission and being purposeful, because that's all. That's what we want. Like we want to have the most amount of happiness. So happiness, like true happiness, doesn't come from the money. It doesn't come from the like travel. It doesn't come from the ranks. The true happiness comes from being in your purpose.
Yeah.
And doing so from an authentic space, however you want to personally do it, and being in that flow, like that is where the happiness really lies, and the most amount of joy that you can experience. And this is why I'm mind blown that you're still not in sales, especially after looking at who you really are, your essence, that you're the eagle. I'm mind blown because it's like you would genuinely kill it. Introverts and women, those are two most, when you look at like what you would want on paper for the perfect salesperson, those are the two main things. Introverts.
I would never guess that like an introvert would be either.
Yeah, because the problem with an extrovert is that they talk more than they listen. But in sales, like when you're listening and you're silent, like that's what sells most. And the reason why is because of the different forms of pressure. So an extrovert is going to try to like pressure a person based off of, you know, what they want the person to do. So it either become manipulative, or they'll try to do like NLP, psychological, you know, messing up with the person through the words that they're saying. But the best salesperson is the one who recognizes that you want to be able to create a pressure within that through the authentic alignment that the person now experiences. Now they're just going to like run to take action because they are doing so from purpose and flow and alignment. And you can't do that without being silent. You can't do that without listening to the person, letting them get to that place themselves. So the introverts are usually good because they're like you said, they're intelligent, right? They're the ones that are focused on the person, not themselves. And they're able to just be present and listen well. Women, the second part about this, because it's difficult as a guy in this game, it really is.
That's why there's more women in it.
Yeah, because it's just hard. As a guy, it's like harder. And a big reason why is because people just genuinely have more trust than they do for men. So, like you've got all the attributes to be a top salesperson here. And if this is the thing, and I think it wasn't until Anthony, because he's quite introverted too, he started off with content and he was comfortable with content, but then when he jumped into sales, he was addicted to it. Like he just he just got to the point where you couldn't get him off the phones. He would get angry if he wasn't allowed on the phone. Yeah, but not from a place of like just trying to make money. He genuinely loved it, like loved the process. Especially that first month, I watched him like in his flow, and it just seemed like I was watching him be a kid again, and I love that. So there might be a similar thing for yourself as well too, where you almost feel like you've been in this business and doing the business as if it was work, but you're just getting more and more and more to this place where it's no longer work anymore. It's just like being a kid again, and you get to play. You get to play business, which sounds irresponsible, but it's not.
It sounds exciting, actually. I look forward to getting to that point.
Yeah. Because when you're there too, the difference between work and play is that work, we try to do what is necessary to like cut it short. That's what we do with work. But with play, we do our best to extend the time frame we're having with play. And it's not just going to be you that's doing that, but anyone who is involved with you in a connection, a conversation, a live video, whatever it is, if they can also feel like it's play for them by being a participant, they will also want to continue on speaking with you for as long as possible, doing the business for as long as possible, because they just want to play more.
Yeah. Yeah, I needed this call, to be honest. Especially today. So it's cleared up a lot of things for me. Not really, like reassured me. Like I knew what I was supposed to do, but I just needed someone to tell me, like, okay, now you need to do this.
Yeah, and I know that
I'm gonna go and do it.
We've been doing a lot for the community and like serving others to come in and like providing value in that aspect. So there's not as much been a focus on yourself, but even whilst I'm doing this, just remember that like, you can be selfish in, or you can have more of a focus on you in terms of some of the things and challenges that you may genuinely be going through, and raising them in this environment, because to be honest, like when you do that, like it inspires other people to also have a similar approach where they recognize that, wait, I could get so much from this conversation if I just actually bring forth my problem, rather than coming to the call and it being a case where you're either holding it back, or you are speaking but not necessarily like productively working through challenges and getting to solutions. So that can like, that's another way that you'll be a leader. Like if you think about it, imagine, let's say over the next month you end up bringing like 30 people onto one of these calls over time, and it starts off, there's one person, there's two, there's three, there's four. People just start to follow what the leader's doing, and the leader's not me, the leader's you. So they're all going to be like following in your footsteps, where you're coming on straight away. Because this is another thing to think about. When you come onto the calls, how do you want people to show up? Do you want people to show up where they're, for the most of the call, they're muted? Do you want them to show up and for the most of the call, like they don't have their camera on? Do you want people to show up and they are not interacting with the comments? Like, how do you want people to show up? Because they will follow what you do, not what you tell them to do. So if if
children,
if one day, like, because there's like 4 of your prospects on the call, you say, you decide that you're going to put your camera on for that call,
Yeah.
they won't put their cameras on. And it's because of like a spiritual law where they can almost sense that this is just for today. It's not how you actually are. When you have more of the because here's where I'm saying this from. When I used to jump on calls, when I used to, in the beginning of my business, like go into these group sessions, I would never speak. I would never put my camera on, and I was just listening in and taking in value.
Fly on the wall, yeah.
Yeah. So now what's happened? Most of the people, they initially came in, they didn't want to speak, they didn't want to put their face out there, and they didn't want to ask questions. And it's got better over time, for sure. But what leadership has taught me is that whatever behavior that you want to be displayed in your team when they eventually come, because they will.
Yeah.
This is another thing, is that don't expect that they're not going to come, because they're going to come. Like, they will come. And when they come, you will wish that you'd have done more things to display the behaviors that you want to see in those people. So like, I think when you even look at like my journey and you think to yourself as to what it was like when I shared about my journey with ads, practically the whole reason as to why we were able to put in like 6 figures worth of ads last year is because I put in so much money for ads, right? So when I said to people like put in 5K, you know, like everyone's like, yeah, sure, because you've put in like 30 or 50.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I just put in money. I didn't get any returns. Like that's how it was. So the thing for yourself as well is, it's like, if you're going to be setting the standard for how it happens for people coming into your group, like you can definitely shortcut their success. But one thing to expect is like, because it's taken maybe, for example, how you can show your success is doing something similar to what I did, right? So you give them a lot of support, you make it so that they can depend on yourself, me, and they're getting quick wins. So they can get some quicker results, even quicker than you did. This is the potential that can happen. But you probably also want to expect that them stepping into leadership might take them months. Because it took you months too. You might want to expect that for them to start like getting over their fear and being more authentic online and like being it might take them time. So knowing that it takes time, if you want that to happen quicker for them, make it happen quick for you, because the more that you delay it for you, the more that it will also be delayed for them, and then you'll get frustrated. You'll be like, why is everyone moving so freaking slow? Like, it's because I was moving slow.
I did.
Then I took my time with it. Yeah, I didn't know the cost of it, because this is the thing: you won't pay the price of something until you know what it costs you.
Yeah.
So the biggest cost that you have in delaying action and moving slowly is that is what will be the pace of practically everyone that comes in. And that's why like success loves speed, because it duplicates as well. That's not to say to rush. Don't need to rush things.
But I gotta put some
pedal
to the metal.
Be like the eagle, you know, like
start
off the day, set the intentions, have a clear vision, eagle vision, like what's going to be my focus for today, and then be an eagle and just go and like fly in and swoop your prey. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. Thank you. This has been like one of the best calls, I think.
They're only getting
the most out of this. I think from start to finish, like what's it been, like 3 hours or?
Yeah, but just like 3 hours of value for where you're at right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad to do it, because it means that if anybody else is going through the same problem that you're going through right now, I can just send them the recording and be like, boom.
Yeah, there you go.
Watching you on time. So it's great. But yeah, I feel like this is going to help you reach a whole different level. And like you're like the thing that you want to get to a point of is this place where you look at your business as though it's not a lottery ticket, but it's like your business is now feeding you the way that it should be, because you're genuinely someone who knows what they're doing, knows what they're talking about, got the reps in, paid the price of success, and is able to genuinely be an authority to others because like you put in the reps, like you've done the work. And that work in this business more than anything, this is what we've been hammered home like in the call at the weekend, more than anything, even more than sales. The work is about getting good at ads, marketing. Like when you look at that guy who I was talking about who has got the 1,000,000% return, and you look at his Instagram brand, his like YouTube brand, he's got barely anybody on those platforms, barely anyone.
Wow.
This level of success. When I say barely anyone, I mean for that level, there's like only
you'd expect him to have like thousands and thousands.
Oh yeah, you'd expect him to have way more, but on like YouTube, it doesn't really post that often compared to big YouTubers that I know now. And the reason why is because he just got good at the actual things that you're supposed to get good at. And he focused on making loads of ads, making loads of webinars, putting out the emails, content, and then finally like being somewhat good at sales. But yeah, like just actually continue doing what you're doing, because at the end of the day, you have been putting out content, which is a form, like ads are a form of content. So you've been getting better with the skills and more confident in that way. But now it's just like, how can you step up to that next level? More authenticity and more volume of call to actions. And like, it's just going to become natural. Like you'll genuinely like, I want to show you a page, right? Let me actually pull up this page. I'll pull up a few for you. And this will give you the inspiration as to why you want to get good at ads. So I'm not sure if these are actually some pages that I genuinely just recommend following, because like when I went on their pages, I was like, whoa, this is sick. Because basically they've done it all fully through organic, no ads. No ads. And she's done 7 figures in Enagic now, right?
Wow.
And I think she's pretty young too. But if I take a look at like a call to action post that she has on her profile, then let's see how well it's doing. I know that she's got a lot of success and authority, but at the end of the day, like every single post gets shown to people that don't know who she is as well. You know? So trying to think if any of these might have a call to action. Okay, I can't see any with her, but there is her partner that he has one like right at the beginning, and so his is like comment or DM me Kangen to learn more. He is like fully talking about the product in this, so it's not necessarily business, but I mean, just look at the comments. Like this is from an organic post. Kangen. These are all leads, and I can keep on scrolling. There's like so many people are showing this interest, and this is kind of what happened for me on TikTok, where from like one post, I just had so many leads that came through. Another person who is really good at doing organic posts that just gets her leads like all the time. And it's because she's consistent, not just because of how many followers that she's got. She genuinely like puts out posts. Yeah. So like every other day, like she's getting people, not just as comments, but it's more so leads.
Mm.
So what I'm giving you is a little bit of vision, because it's like, imagine if you had that as your page, not just because you're putting out this type of post, but you're putting out the call to action posts. And another way to look at it is that what if you had loads of call to action posts and people didn't see them? So they were getting like, 1 like, 2 likes, 3 likes. But then, like, you had one post that blew up and it went viral. And you ended up getting from that one post like 50 different DMs or 50 different comments of people as leads. Now you think that one post goes viral, and most of those people, what they're going to do at that point, even if they haven't commented, a lot of people are going to click on your profile to check out more about who you are. And they'll start scrolling through, and if they resonate with a different call to action post that you got from the past, they might comment on that one.
Yeah.
And that's where the leverage starts to come in, because one of the things that you can't do with Ads Manager is you can't have like thousands of ads out on your Ads Manager for free. You can do that with a profile and have them there all the time. And there could be different ads that resonate with a different target audience, or not necessarily a different target audience, but a different person, a different soul for a different, which is why I wouldn't worry too much about like what the likes are getting. More so just focus on the volume. Just focus on how can I get out the maximum in terms of production. And that will be the biggest game changer.
Okay. I'm going to do it.
Awesome. You know what to do.
Yep. Thank you.
Again, my pleasure. You're welcome. And I look forward to seeing the volume of ads raising, as well as the authentic version of yourself, the eagle version coming out. Because I think this is like, it's really funny how Ben be coming on and saying, you know what, Yasmin, like you're killing it, you're doing great.
I was surprised that, but I didn't like.
I mean, he's your.
I see my progress. I think if I think about it, like I can see my progress, but like I still don't think I'm there yet.
No. So I know you're not there yet, right? So what I'm saying is that Ben is loving it, because he's like, yo, she's my downline, man. Like, of course, I'm loving it.
He's it's like, oh, that she's gonna be doing it for me. I don't have to do anything.
She's gonna hit 6-8. Like, I'm happy. She's going in the right direction, right? But what I know in my heart as well is I know that there's more that can be brought forth, because I speak with you a lot more often, and I can hear it, right? So I can hear that raw, like 1-to-1, but then when I'm seeing you on the socials, I'm like, nah, Yasmin's got more than this that she can give.
It's more like the chicken on the social media.
It's just, if as soon as people can see what I see on the platform, because you show what you show to me there, then it's game over. It's game over.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I can do it. It's just
change the language, because that's one thing that was actually supposed to be my topic of conversation today, and then you hijacked it. So it's like
before I came onto the call, I didn't read what it was about, and I told Idris, I said, like, I'm just gonna say what I want to say today, and even if there's other people on there, he's just gonna just focus on me for today, because I needed a pep talk. I needed this today.
That's good. I'm glad that you've just said what you wanted to say. And
it's so valuable for everyone that listens into it. So.
I think a good thing to do is like, one of the things that I would do before people would jump on a call, I'd actually allow them to, in a spreadsheet or in a form, they could write out like what they're working on, what their wins, what their challenges, what their solutions. So then when people come to the call, like, I'd know exactly what topics would genuinely serve them. now, it's like when I'm thinking about what I can talk about, it's just based off of what's been helping me, not necessarily what's helping the people. So it becomes a lot more serving to the people when I get it up front, rather than like waiting for the call to happen. So if you ever have something that you want to go through for me to speak about on a call, don't wait till a call. If you have something, try to bring it up. But if you don't have something, you can still come to the call, because there might be something to learn.
Yeah. No, there's always something valuable.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's a bit late now. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, as always. And I'll see you next
tomorrow.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Some good news.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Peace.